Hey, Lexi!
Hey Cameron. Hey, where did you go off to without telling me? I've said before that I want you telling me what you're doing when it gets late out.
I'm sorry. On my way home from work, my mom called me asking for me to come over and plan out a vacation with her.
A vacation?
Turns out that I'll be going with my mom to Hawaii for New Year's as a small trip.
Are you serious?
We plan to only be there for a week or so. So you don't have to get too surprised by this one. At first, it was going to be my mom and dad going to Hawaii together for that week. But now that Dad's bedridden from his sickness, she's asked for me to go with her instead.
Wait! Why would you guys still plan to go to Hawaii with everything else going on?
What do you mean? Lots of people go on vacation during the New Year's, right? You think we're just joking?
You guys are still planning to go on that trip that your dad was supposed to go on? While he's in the hospital, unresponsive because of his condition? At that point, people would normally just cancel the trip and stay home around their family.
But if we were to cancel this whole vacation now, we'd be left having to pay a boatload in cancellation fees to all the hotels and restaurants. So, instead of having to deal with that, I think it's better that I go in Dad's place, and then we won't need to worry about money, right?
But if you've started to think about the condition that your dad is in, you shouldn't have the mindset to go to Hawaii, right?
You think so? I never thought I had to dwell on the thought of my dad being in the hospital that much. My dad won't even know we're gone because he's not even well enough to be awake. And he won't be for a long time, the doctor said. So there's really no point in us being home to go see him if he's not even going to be awake to say anything. I think now's the perfect time that my mom and I go out and do what we want since we don't have to be held down by him.
This isn't about seeing him all the time, but the fact that you should be worried about him more than some trip to Hawaii. If I were you or your mom, I wouldn't care about having to pay a little or canceling and would stay here to be with my dad.
Well, it doesn't matter what you do, because you're not even coming with us.
You both really plan on going still. I have no idea how you have the nerve to do that right now.
Oh, come on, Lexi. This is one of the things that always drives me up the wall with you. How you always act like you're so right about everything.
Uh-huh.
No matter how you try and make me feel bad about my choice, I'm going to Hawaii. Tonight I'll be home to get my things together. And then I'm heading back to my parents' place to stay until the trip. Don't even try stopping me anymore.
Wait.
No!
What the heck, Cameron?
Alright, I'm getting on the plane right now.
So you both really are leaving?
It's my job as my mom's son to be here for her when she wants to go out and do something.
That's weird, though, considering her husband is in the hospital in really bad shape right now. I wonder what's going on inside her head right now.
You're starting to get on my nerves here, Lexi.
I'm just going to tell you this one last thing then. If your dad does end up waking up during the time that you're both away, I'm going to have to tell him everything that's going on with his wife and his son, okay?
Go right ahead. I know for a fact he's not waking up while we're gone. Well, even if he does wake up, he'll at least have you there to care for him. And make sure you don't wander off, leaving him without any family, alright? So, with that, I'll be back in a week.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens then.
Lexi, Happy New Year!
Wait, David, Happy New Year! How has your body been doing after being asleep for so long?
Well, I'm still working out a lot of the kinks, but I have to say that all the hospital food actually tastes pretty good after not eating for so long. And I'm really looking forward to getting even better.
That's so amazing to hear.
By the way, something tells me that both Cameron and Lucy ended up still going to Hawaii then?
Yeah. Cameron ended up taking your place and going with your wife. They left yesterday.
I see.
I'm sorry that I couldn't stop them. I told them over and over again not to go while you were in the hospital. But they never listened to me. They never even bothered to come see you in the hospital after you were taken in by the ambulance.
That's all right, Lexi. I was the one that told my wife not to push herself to come see me if I ended up slipping into a coma. So she had every right to have gone away for a bit expecting that I wasn't going to wake up. I'm sure she just remembered that I said that, and so she didn't mean any harm by leaving to Hawaii still with Cameron.
Then I suppose that I wasn't going to change their minds after all.
Well, even if I hadn't said that to her, I doubt she would have stayed. I remember after being helped from the car accident by your family and you, that my wife had already been pretty reluctant to come see me because me being so badly hurt and sick would ruin the trip. Of course, a small part of me wanted to tell her to stay by my side as I was in the hospital, but she was very excited for the trip, and so I never had it in me to change her either.
David.
I'm sorry that I've told you all this, but I thought it'd be best that you knew what was going on.
Thank you.
But there is a reason for them wanting to be away on this trip. And I think you should be ready to understand what I mean by that.
I see. Well, for the time being, I will prepare myself for what's next and to help you.
Thank you, Lexi.
Lexi? Tomorrow my mom and I will be coming back, so can you come get us from the airport?
Uh-huh. You want me to come all the way there? Don't you realize that the airport is a couple hours away from our place? Why not just take the bus back to our place from there, or at least get an Uber or something to go home in?
Well, we have a lot of things with us. You're my wife, so you have to listen to everything my mom and I ask for.
Well, before we continue with this, your dad woke up.
Really?
When I was going to go and see him, he had woken up and started talking to me.
Are you serious about that?
He says that he has enough energy to text you guys, so I'll let him handle this.
He can't really be awake already, right? You're lying, right?
Cam.
Hi, Dad.
Did you have a good time in Hawaii? I know that you went there in my place, right?
Right. Well, we went to all sorts of beaches and stayed at a few really nice resorts. Even went out and tried surfing for the first time in my life.
I see. I'm sure it was a great time, leaving your dad who was in a coma behind, so that you could go out to Hawaii, huh? You both are coming home tomorrow, I hear? I'd make sure that you enjoy whatever time you have left there before having to come back and see me, okay?
Hey, Dad.
Well, I guess I should get things started then.
What are you going to get started? I'm sure you're just really happy to see us again, right? Maybe there'll be some sort of surprise for us when we get home, right?
Just make sure to let your mom know that she needs to be prepared for what comes next.
Dad? Maybe you're less happy and more mad then? Hey, Lexi! What is this? Why is there a divorce form?
So you've made it back home now? Hope you made it back okay.
But what is going on with this divorce form laying on the counter?
Well, about you, Cameron. You were in Hawaii with another woman, correct?
Why do you say that?
Well, your dad started to look into your mom about her cheating, and lo and behold, you ended up being with another woman as well. And then once your dad found out about that, he told me.
What? So you know about Mom as well then?
That's right, we both do. We both figured that you guys really continued with that trip, not because you didn't want to pay any cancellation fees, but because you both were going to have an affair, correct? I hope you both had fun at least.
No, hold up. If you really think about this, things don't seem to add up, right? Do you really think my dad could have done all of that when he was in a coma for so long?
Well, he told me that he's been looking into your mom for over half a year now. That's before he ever got into that accident, Cameron. And your dad has actually been awake for a month now. Did you know that?
What?
Of course not. Because neither you or your mom ever came to see him. When I started going to the hospital to help care for him, he opened his eyes.
What? You hid that from both my mom and I?
Well, when he asked me where the two of you were, I told him that they didn't plan to come see you. And so he told me everything and asked that I keep my mouth shut about it.
Why though?
Well, your dad was a little upset about the fact that neither of you two wanted to be around him when he was in his time of need.
But why would he never tell us that he was at least awake?
Cameron, your dad knows that you aren't actually his son.
What?
I never really knew that you weren't your dad's real son. And David didn't really know either until he started looking deeper into things. But now he knows that the man that your mom went to see in Hawaii is actually your real dad. So really, this whole trip was going to be both your real parents, you, and then that woman you wanted to cheat on me with, correct? I'm not sure why I say that like it didn't end up happening, because you guys did see them and enjoy your time in Hawaii with them.
You know all about that now. Dang it.
I'm sure that your mom will soon be finding the divorce paperwork that I've placed in her living room for her to find.
Huh?
Your dad asked me to help him place it there while he stayed in his hospital bed.
Are you kidding me?
Ah, that's right. David has gone ahead and changed to a new hospital, so if either of you try to come and talk to him, you'll find that you're both too late.
Where did he go to, Lexi?
Well, I'm not sure about where myself.
Why don't you know? Out of all the things that he decided to tell you about, he never mentioned the next hospital he'd be going to?
Well, he realized once you both came back from Hawaii, he wouldn't want anything to do with you guys. The last time I spoke with him was yesterday. And then after that, we decided not to talk to one another anymore. So I haven't heard anything else from him since. And in the case of David, he doesn't know where I am currently either. I think if you want to find anything else about David's whereabouts, perhaps you'll have some luck talking to his lawyer when he starts talking with your mom about all of this.
He even got a lawyer involved in this?
Well, why the heck wouldn't he be, Cameron? As a matter of fact, I'm also going to be getting a lawyer soon. So when that happens, you'll be hearing from them instead of me, okay?
You're getting one as well?
There's some information and a few business cards with those divorce papers you found, right? Those will be the lawyers I plan to get involved with to help me see all this through.
Hey, can we at least talk this over a bit more in person? You've been married for 3 years now, so you have to have the heart to want to talk things through, right?
We've been married for 3 years, yet you choose to cheat on me. What made you think that was an okay thing to do when you should have the heart to talk to me? And also, even though he was never your father and never knew that, he raised you all the way to the point you're at now, and learned recently that you aren't his, and his wife has been cheating on him all this time. Imagine being in his shoes, and having to feel all the emotions he's having now, just trying to deal with all of this, especially after an accident that left him in a coma. Honestly, I might have stayed to talk things through with you over cheating on me, but what really pissed me off was you just leaving your dad in the hospital while he was dealing with all of this to go to Hawaii with your cheating mom. So me leaving you is justified, right?
But, Lexi...
Don't say my name anymore, okay? I've got to get going now.
Huh?
Make sure that I get all of the money I asked for in the settlement, okay? Please and thank you.
What? I still really do think of you as my real father. And what happened with me and going to Hawaii and while I was there,
Perfect timing. I want you to tell this to your mom from me as well. I'm not going to change my mind about the divorce. And as for me and you, Cam, I'm planning on cutting all ties I have to you.
What?
And right now, I'm getting myself a new phone and a new number. So neither you or your mom will ever be able to find me or contact me ever again. Then, once you're never able to talk with me or see me again, you'll have to go through my lawyer, who is looking forward to talking with you both.
But, Dad...
I need to get back to getting my new phone now.
Dad, please!
To start, David had a long talk with his lawyer about how he wanted both his wife and his son to be taken out of his will, as well as for both of them to get nothing from him in the divorce. When this was brought up to both Cameron and Lucy, neither of them wanted to agree to what David was asking, and tried begging for him to rethink what he had planned to do to them. Of course he didn't budge, and so Lucy signed the document first, followed by Cameron doing the same with huge reluctance. And then, instead of taking any settlement from Cameron and Lucy, he only asked that Cameron's real dad pay him. In my case, I went and had a settlement made for both Cameron and the woman that he cheated on me with. Once they had both paid the money that I had asked for, they were left with the realization that I just took $15,000 from the both of them, and that things were going to become much harder. Cameron ended up leaving his job due to all the stress, and returned back to his mom and real dad with his new girlfriend, where they all started to live together with very little money to their name. Now, the only person that seems to be working any sort of job is the real father, and he is left with himself and 3 people that he'll have to start trying to care for.